All right, good morning, everyone. By my little computer timer, it says it's 9:30, so we'll go ahead and call our meeting to order. And I know it's the session meetings, but I would like to take a moment of silence to remember our fallen brothers and sisters and try to uphold all those in California that are going to be in a very tough spot for a very long time. So let's take a moment of silence. All right, thank you. All right. These meetings are a little bit different, a little bit shorter, more of an update. So I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Nelson.
Okay, first up, Jacob is going to give you guys an update on where we're at in session. With that, I'll turn it over to Jacob.
Okay, good morning. For the record, Jacob White, staff to the board. So just a reminder, I'll be sending out the weekly updates on Friday, probably early afternoon, on any updates on what's going on with legislative session, on upcoming hearings the following week, and anything that's happened with either the board bills or any bills of interest. So we have one board endorsed bill this session, and so the House version and the Senate version have been dropped and are scheduled for hearings tomorrow in House Appropriations and Senate Ways and Means. I'll be at the House one testifying in support of the bill, and Steve will be at the Senate bill, or the Senate hearing testifying in support of the bill. And also should just let you know that both House Appropriations and Senate Ways and Means are kind of having pension days, and there'll be mostly pension bills being heard that day. I'll touch on some of the other related ones on the next slides. So there was one other board supported bill, and that was the month of death issue that's the board supported last year as well, and it's been endorsed by the Select Committee on Pension Policy. And so that also is scheduled for hearings at the same time as the board's other bill. And then bills of interest. First, I just want to touch on the House Bill 1270. And so this was a bill that DRS came and spoke to the board about. It was a bill that they're running outside of the Select Committee. And it will, so you may remember, oh man, maybe was it 5-7 years ago, back when I was at DRS, there was a bill passed that allowed for, that made it so that state employees were auto-enrolled in the state's deferred compensation program. And so local employers had interest in doing that with their employees also, but they didn't feel that the law allowed them to. And so this bill will allow local employers who are in the state's DCP, that offer the state's DCP plan, to auto-enroll their employees if they would like to do that. So that may impact some Left 2 members if your employer has DCP and they would like to do this. I should just put in a plug for it. The data that's come back on this for state employees has been great. It's around, last I saw, it was around 90% of new state employees choose to stay in the state's DCP plan with auto enroll. And before that, it was something like 5% joined DCP. So it's having a huge impact on state employees. And then also, there's a lot of interest in this, but the Governor Inslee's, or former Governor Inslee's operating budget, when he spoke on that, he spoke about a proposed merger of Left 1, Left 2, and $1 billion being transferred out of Left 1 into the state general fund. So far, there has not been a bill dropped to accomplish that. And so it's something that we are keeping an eye on. And as soon as there is a bill made publicly available, we will be analyzing that as quickly as possible and then sending out an update to board members on what that bill does and the impacts of it. And then that's it for the ledge update. If there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Thank you.
Any questions on the update? All right, Steve, you want to go over the stakeholder outreach?
Yeah, for the admin update, we've got both WACOPS and the State Council of Firefighters are having their ledge conferences coming up in February. Jacob will be presenting at both of those regarding the board endorsed bill. We also have a couple of other administrative items. One, good news, the lease for the 5 years in our current building has been finalized.
Oh, good.
So that one is is scratched off the list of things to worry about for at least another 5 years. Also, there will be 2 newsletters this upcoming year, and the plan on getting back to one. The first one will be shortly after session, describing what happened during session. We'll keep you updated on that, as the schedules become a little bit more clear, what the exact mailing dates are, et cetera. The next board meeting is February 26th. I did also want to give you an update on the incoming governor's budget. So as you recall, there was some discussion in the outgoing governor's budget about changes to different agencies, cuts, freezes with respect to travel, et cetera. The incoming governor has released a statement about budget priorities. And one of those things does require 6% cuts to state agencies. And our follow-up is that applies to all agencies. There's some guidance on where those cuts could come from, but ultimately the decision on the cuts is left up to agency leadership. So this will be something that we'll be working with you on as you adopt the board budget for the next couple of years. And we'll we'll have more guidance for you between now and May and June when you start working on that budget. But at least now that's the plan, 6% cuts. They did some of the things that they specifically mentioned as where it could come from, include reducing out-of-state travel, as well as staff position cuts. For us, we'll come up with options for you how you could achieve those 6% cuts again, but that'll be part of the budget. And we'll know for sure then 100% whether it applies to the LEOFF board or not. But the understanding we're operating under now is that it does.
Hey, Steve, a question for you. If there's direction to cut 6%, and let's say we cut 6%, because those dollars operate within our group, the state wouldn't see any savings, would they?
No, that's
Okay.
And so in the past, Dennis, there's been a lot of discussion about when cuts are proposed. What do you do about agencies that are not funded out of the general fund? And there's kind of 2 schools of thought. One is leave them alone since they don't save the state any money. But then another school of thought is that if you have some agencies that are, for lack of a better word, the haves and the have-nots, then that creates a different set of challenges that they want to avoid. And that we'll have more direction. But it is clear that there's a target of $4 billion in state general fund savings that this 6% cut was going to help achieve. And again, none of the left board budget comes out of the general fund. A 6% cut isn't going to affect that $4 billion at all. But so there may be other reasons besides just purely financial, though, is what I'm getting at, Dennis, as to why they might want to apply cuts to all agencies.
Thank you.
And again,
Steve,
this is
anything else?
no, as far as admin update, that covers everything.
If Jacob mentioned as well as you is that if we do see some legislation that has a significant, or I shouldn't say significant, has any impact to LEOFF 2, can we communicate that with everybody, Steve? Just so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jacob is already planning on sending out an update immediately. If we see anything on the merger bill, for instance, that the governor talked about, we checked this morning, literally 5 minutes before the board meeting started, just to see if by any chance it had been introduced, and it hasn't yet. As soon as it is, depending on how complicated or whatever the bill is, we'll be going through it immediately, and Jacob will be sending out an update ASAP. He's not going to wait until Friday, for instance, to include that. There'll be a separate update on the merger bill as soon as it comes out, and then we'll track it on the website and in the Friday updates and everything from then on.
Okay, thank you. Anybody have any questions or comments? Short and sweet, under 15 minutes. Steve, last word, out?
Nope, that's it.
All right. Well, thanks, everybody. Since I guess I called the meeting to order, I have to get a motion to adjourn, so my bad.
Move to adjourn.
Okay.
Call the question.
Moved in second. Question's been called by the senator. All in favor, say. All in favor, click. All in favor, click off your screen. Whoever wants to stay and talk. No, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Perfect. Opposed? All right, we are adjourned. Thank you very much. Thanks, Steve, Jacob, everybody. Have a good morning.